Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space, where I take stories from across the internet and read them for your entertainment. This particular story is called Automated Fear, written by Catfish21SM. Hello there, class. Today we're going to be learning why you don't mess with the humans. Everyone knows not to mess with the humans, but sometimes you get an idiot who thinks they can push their weight around. Well, humans are the scariest things to ever grace the galaxy. Let us start with their origin, shall we? What you see on the screen behind me are various pictures and average size and density calculations for various species that the humans drove to extinction before the invention of guns. Most of these were in and of themselves apex predators. Here is an interesting one, the woolly mammoth. This was said to be one of the humans' favorite prey items, but the size isn't what's terrifying about these creatures, it's the environmental conditions in which it lived. During an ice age where temperatures were almost constantly below freezing. This is a clear display of human dominance in terms of physical ability. Now, I know that many of you would argue that physical ability means very little in terms of space warfare. And you would be correct. It can make a difference in close quarters combat, but that's very rare in modern-day warfare situations. This mammoth is also a display of human ingenuity. Here we are. What you are seeing now are various animals that the humans domesticated. This one, called a horse, was used for transportation. Here you see it pulling a cart containing several human passengers. This one here is a bull. This reenactment is displaying how they used this animal to till their fields. Humans, for almost their entire development, have been finding ways to make things easier on themselves and to automate various tasks. What you see here are some of the earliest human machines. These are capable of performing tasks hundreds, even thousands of times more efficient than humans. Well, it is true that most species end up automating their tasks at some point. This is normally done for necessity. The humans did it only because they could. This footage is another reenactment from several tens of thousands of years ago, not long before humans joined the Galactic Union. These are what the humans call war drones. They are automated killing machines driven by AI. The humans would train this AI to kill their enemies for them, then release massive swarms of these drones onto their enemy and just sit back to watch the destruction. This brings us to our modern day. Well, a few decades ago, I mean. Humans using AI have been able to encode and decrypt the cognitive patterns of most, if not all, sapient species in the galaxy. Here's a question for you, class. Have any of you ever heard of a brain bug before? After a short pause, several tentacles connected by thin membrane, almost resembling a finnosaur's, slowly rose into the air. Yes, untranslatable. What is your answer?
Isn't that the phenomenon that occurs occasionally when a thought is stuck in your head and difficult to remove?
Yes, exactly. This term was once a form of slang that the humans used to describe this process. Now is a common term used to describe throughout the entire galaxy. Does anyone know why that is? After a minute of no response, the professor continued. Yeah, that's fine. You see, class, this term refers to something else. The most terrifying invention in the entire galaxy. The brain bug AI. This is an AI that the humans invented in order to automate war. It's still debated whether this AI should be deemed a form of psychological warfare or not. But regardless, it is the most horrifying thing in existence. In fact, the only reason that its use has not been outlawed by the Galactic Union is because they are too afraid to outlaw the humans' most powerful weapon. The brain bug AI works exactly how it sounds. Through a series of easily replicatable stimuli, it created a recurring thought pattern that is nearly impossible to control. This is the brain bug AI. The thought pattern itself is the AI. The AI encodes itself into your central neural networks through a series of stimuli. It is capable of doing this for any known sapient species. But the AI isn't complex. In fact, it's probably one of the simplest AI ever created. All it does is bring up thoughts and memories. Unfortunately, these thoughts and memories are the ones that evoke the most fear in its host. Because of the sheer intensity of fear invoked by this AI, it becomes impossible to forget it. That's how it establishes itself in your neural network. Next, the fear grows more and more intense as the AI refines its code, using your own cognitive capabilities to do so. While this is happening, the AI replicates itself in other members of your species by forcing you through fear to replicate the basic foundational stimuli while in the presence of others, evoking fear reactions from them and beginning the process to become established in them as well. Then, in the final days of infection, for some species, taking only seconds, for others, unfortunately, taking days, the fear reactions become so intense that the host begins making irrational decisions, sometimes choosing to end themselves in order to stop the fear. Others getting into accidents. And if that is not enough, then it results in the shutdown or even stimulation of vital organs needed to maintain homeostasis, resulting in eventual death. Then, as the process continues and affects more and more people, these fear processes spread further and further and become stronger and stronger. The more of the population that has died to this AI, the easier it is to spread itself and the more powerful it is. Even just knowing of its existence is enough to make it more powerful and efficient. So then, you might be wondering why I'm telling you all of this, since just knowing of the existence of this AI is enough to leave you vulnerable to its attacks. Well, that's simple, class. That is to let you know that the humans literally created a war machine powered by fear, capable of complete genocide in a matter of days or weeks. As future diplomats of your respective races, it is absolutely imperative that you come to an early understanding of what it means to mess with the humans. The humans, dear students, have fully automated the entire process of war, literally using the fear of their enemies to massacre them on a species-wide basis. As I mentioned previously, some species occasionally begin to become comfortable and start to push their weight around. Well, class, you should keep in mind that the humans have even automated the process of pushing back. Story number 2. The GAS metric.
Look, human resident, you cannot just keep that galactic postal service box. Those are returned, and it actually is a bit of galactic crime to keep one. Here, let me just take...
You will not touch that box. Step away from it.
But the GPS will fine you for...
So have them bill me. I'll just buy it outright, but I am keeping it.
A soft chime sounded throughout the station hab complex. It was a pleasant, soothing chime, but several alien residents in the public courtyard looked around in alarm. I don't get it. What's the big deal? It's just a small plush-struck shipping box. What possibly would you ever need it for?
Look, it turns out my kitty really likes it.
Your kitty? I really don't understand. I frankly find it hard to believe the big gruff human space dock worker like you, sir, would even have a kitty, or even... His dubious statement was cut off by another slightly elevated chime. You don't have to understand. Look, she really likes it. She curls up in the bottom of it, and it's the perfect size for her to push her feet, back, shoulders, and head against all four sides. And its smooth symmetry and slight give pushes in on her in an apparently pleasing way. And it's a tall box, meaning the high walls make it even more secure for her sense of well-being. But It's just a stupid box. You cannot just...
She has slept in that stupid box for the last 3 nights. She's made it clear she really likes and has warm feels for that box. And you know what? That officially makes it no longer my box, no longer GPS's box. That is now the kitty's box. And it's going to stay that way until the end of time. And if anyone even thinks of dying, that sweet little floofers, that tiny bit of simple joy. Ding. Attention Hub residents. As a public service, the human mind reading alert system must now inform you the humans giving a shit metric has now reached categorically dangerous levels. You are all advised to cease all endeavors, state the words, okay then, and back away slowly. Across the Hab complex courtyard, a semi-feline alien catwoman battered her mate's ear.
Ow! Why don't you ever care about me that much?
The male cat warrior rubbed his ear. I don't think anything can ever care that much. That's what makes those humans so dangerous. We never know what stupid little hill they'll decide to wage deadly war upon, or what could possibly trigger that decision. That alert system was worth every tax debit. End of story.
I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Bushmaster 177, Henry the Red, Caspar Arnholtz, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Elijah Silvercross, Dragzoon WRE, and Severin Cerberus. Thank you very much.